Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday. I got some drama in my replies on X. It's quite entertaining. Two guys are fighting over drywall. Hey, what's going on, guys? Not safe to swim? I concur, Waterfly. I concur. This guy, let me just give you guys the update because it's really entertaining and stupid. This guy straight up said they were arguing about drywall versus plaster. This guy said, well, you got defensive fast. Your grandpa invent plaster or something? And the other guy said, just what I've been doing for a living, or just what I've made a living doing, and I feel far more knowledgeable than you on the subject. I'll be back on the job site Monday. I'll post a vid from my job site if you post one from yours. And I was like, ooh, good stuff. I don't know. I like it when people start going at it in my replies because I get a lot of the monetizable, I don't know what's it even called, hits. I don't know, but it's also incredibly entertaining to like read two people going back and forth, and I'm completely uninvolved. I just get the alerts, and I'm like, oh shoot, I kind of agree with him now. Good stuff, good stuff. How's everyone doing today? You guys feel better? Chat's going pretty good. We got a pretty active chat. Don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Bitcoin 110,894 and 85 cents. Let's refresh the liquidation heat map to see where we're at. 12-hour time frame. Zoom in a little bit. Okay. We got some liquidity to the downside now. 109,504. Oops. 109,504. And the lower, where do I even go for this? It's kind of all over the place. I'm going to go right here, 107,271. And then up top, we know we got liquidity up top. Bears have never been happier, 111,394. Yesterday was the largest liquidation event in the entire history of cryptocurrency. Never been that bad. 112,939. And on top of that, there's conspiracies galore now. Everyone thinks that it was like this grand conspiracy. 114,915. Monetized traffic. I don't know if that's the right thing. It's I think it's views. That's what it is. Because people have to go to my thing. They have to go to my stupid post that the people are arguing under, and then they get to see all the people arguing. I can just go look at this stupid term. If I go to premium analytics, I get like analytic hits. Impressions, that's what the word is. This stupid word. Impressions. Anyways, all over the place today. What's going on, Coach? John, Waterfly, Fahid, Dave, Giovanni, Drummer. Appreciate you guys. Absolute legends, every single one of you. John said, I bought the dip, buy the blood, Jasmine bags packed, smash the like. Hell yeah, John. Waterfly said largest. Yeah, dude. It was I think the previously had been like 5 billion or something like that. It was like 20 billion. I don't know. I got the statistics here. Should I just look at them? I think we read it last night too. Oh boy. Maybe we didn't. Maybe I made that all up. It's like $20 billion was liquidated or something crazy, and before that it had only been like 5 or 6 from like Luna and like all the crazy stuff that happened during that. So Bitcoin, a little dicey here. I'm still of the suspicion that we might get a little baby like rebound, and then we dump and fill this wick over a long period of time. Because if they take it down, they need like smaller time frame candle closes down here and then take it up in order for that wick to be considered filled. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm bracing myself for the possibility of that happening. Butterfly said my Zcash is up 803% still. That's crazy. I will say, and this is not to be meant as a brag or anything like that, because a lot of my bags are just as effed as everything else. But if you've been in the market for 4+ years, your spot bag should still technically be in profit if you've been dollar cost averaging. So it sucks to lose a huge chunk of the money that we've made during this run so far. But it's not the end of the world again. And it's the whole situation with I don't know where I was going with that. I really don't. I completely lost track. It's just been a crazy, it's been a crazy day, crazy few days. So, I don't know. I appreciate you guys. That's the bottom line. Billy said, hey, all, happy Saturday. Tishu said, yo, good evening, all. JJ here, and you're on the background as I'm fixing my desk. Nice. I'm green for sure. Hell yeah. Philly said, yesterday was the worst. Worse than the COVID dump? Yes, Philly. Far worse than that. Quite possibly 4 times worse than that. Mortify said, I'm in green for sure. Buy and hold, kid. Exactly. Yeah, this is where spot prevails. And it's it makes you feel bad because there are people that are hurting, that lost a lot of money. So I'm not trying to be non-sympathetic towards those people, but it does. There's a hard lesson to learn here about leverage trading. You know, I might show the link like once a month in the description, but it is gambling. It really is. So you have to treat it as such. And even if something like this doesn't happen, there's still also a possibility that the exchange that you use to leverage trade just closes their doors and takes your money and disappears. What are you going to do then? Because they're in like Singapore or something. You're going to go to Singapore and find them? Probably not. They're probably not even Singapore native. Anyways, we're getting sidetracked. Bitcoin 111,009 and 38 cents. Let's see if we do end up filling the wick or not. Bitcoin dominance 60.49. It did go up to 62 and closed below 61, so that's pretty good. Well, let's see. ETH is down 2.19% since yesterday. Currently trading at 37.45 and 93 cents. Let's see if ETH fills the wick. The wick's not that bad on ETH, or at least to me, it doesn't seem that bad. Going down to 3,400. It seems like that would hold up alts relatively decent as well. We do also have to take into mind or take into consideration this. This is the chart that I was looking for yesterday. This is the chart that I was looking for yesterday. Trend emergence, shakeout, momentum building, first sentiment extreme, bear trap. If they're playing it out this way, which I would not be surprised, then yesterday was the biggest bear trap in the history of the planet, probably. And then renewed optimism, FOMO, euphoria. And unfortunately, renewed optimism, probably this time frame between bear trap and renewed optimism is probably entirely institutionally ran, especially because this bull market right now is ran by institutions. And I think that that's why yesterday's dip was so bad. I don't personally, I'm not going to blindly go, yes, there's some grand conspiracy that caused this gigantic dip. I genuinely believe that the order books were so thin and that there was no volume, no liquidity on any of these exchanges because there's no retail. The exchanges are where retail goes to transact. It's not where institutions go to transact. Institutions transact over the counter, behind closed doors. You know, it's all completely separate from retail. So if the retail volume liquidity is thin and institutions like push this liquidity flush, then there's not going to be any volume for these exchanges to crash the price like 5 billion like they had before. It went to 20 billion, which is an insane amount of money. Fahid said, let's see. Tishu said, seems like today is a good day to DCA. Close your eyes. Fahid said, okay, I will use leverage, Waterfly. Waterfly said, and that's why you will stay, well, you will always be poor, Fahid. I'm convinced Fahid's a secret millionaire. Waterfly said, yep, I read that. Dixie said, I was gone a few days. What the F you do to bring me these dips? How low can we go? Hi, JJ. Smash the like. Guys, Dixie took a ride on a murderous ass. And it was comedy gold. Even just hearing like a little 5-minute snippet of it was comedy gold. Hearing his wife laugh in the background was like the icing on the cake. Dixie was the only person in the group that got the donkey that did not care for the rider. Everyone else's was like great bedside manner, like wonderful ride. And Dixie's was like, let's go off this cliff. Have you ever looked death in the eyes and survived? Dixie's like, what? Is your guys' talking? Mine's talking. Philly said, worse than COVID dump? Why? This can't just be because of the tariffs on China. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Everyone's saying it's because of the tariffs on China. I think it's an institutional thing. And I think that there was just no liquidity. And I think that this also goes to show on-chain metrics are mostly faked. Because every single coin, except for like BNB, ETH, and Solana, was down 50+%. That, to me, shows you that every single coin, every blockchain is botted to holy hell, and that the bots have preset parameters that are probably set by a person, and when there's a dump like this, they can't function. It goes down 10%, somebody's got to reset the parameters. It goes down 50%, no one's doing anything. They're all just watching and waiting. So that, in my brain, just kind of peeled back the curtain and revealed the Wizard of Oz. The Heat said, I'm still waiting for more dips, to be honest. It was well orchestrated, Philly. Taco Orange dude pulled off. He's definitely involved. Nick said, yeah, what the F? I don't know if there's a grand conspiracy. I think that there could be a small conspiracy. And I think that maybe they didn't plan on it being that crazy last night. But I think it got crazy because of the low liquidity, low volume situation, which is kind of comical. Anyways, ETH, we're holding above 37, which is good. Can we continue, or again, are we going to fill that wick? If we do fill the wick, I don't think it would be that bad. We are still incredibly oversold. We have not even re-entered the safe zone on the RSI. We do have a green dot on our momentum wave, so there's people buying. These are big wicks. You know, don't let the size of the candles fool you. This is a big ass candle. That's a it's a 420 candle from ETH, which is that's a lot of money. Look at the volume candle right there. And again, this amount of volume from this cascading liquidations followed by all of these, and like led up to by all of these, there's no volume on these coins. So the cascading liquidations, the over leveraged folks, it's just like all the metrics are there. People, the other grand conspiracy is that oracles failed, which is also another possibility. If the oracles failed and they valued the dollar incorrectly, causing all of these crashes to happen, that would cause mass liquidations. The underlying technology fails, which would be the oracle in this scenario, then you can cause all these liquidations. Here's the situation. On chain, nothing broke. So it was definitely an exchange specific thing, including DEXs. DEXs could have, because if a DEX uses the same oracle as a centralized exchange, it's basically a centralized exchange under the hood, minus the centralized entity controlling it. Coach said, for you, if the coin are almost recovery, how are good to hold? And if the opposite one, who didn't recover yet, is red flag? I don't think so. I guess it depends on what do you mean by didn't recover yet. Can you give me an example? Because something crashes down 50%, recovers 30%, and it's only down 20% total, I'd say that's a pretty good metric, all things considered. There was a big de-risking yesterday with the whole China tariff thing, and that, I think, led to this mass liquidation event. Solana's down 5.32% on the day, currently trading at 178.40 on Binance. Solana USDT almost filled its entire wick down to 168. Now, that also kind of shows you the lack of recovery here, but we got to remember also Solana was sitting at all-time highs, down 20%. The wick goes down 23%, so what do we got? 3% more technically. 5% from this current candle, 3% more from way the heck up here. Not too bad, in my opinion. Let's see if Solana keeps itself above 150. 150 is my bottom line for Sol. And we do have this blue line, which we've been consistently retracing to. This blue line from this initial breakout. Way back here. Beautiful breakout. Inverse head and shoulder right here. Inverse head and shoulder. Breakout, retest, midpoint, neckline. Confirmation, all-time high up here. Double top. Came back down. Got a little W. Broke out again. Broke out. Retraced to your purple. Broke out. Retraced to your blue. Continuation. Now, is it coming back down to retrace to the blue? To finally confirm continuation, go up to 1K? I don't know. Am I going to buy some more if it gets really, really low? Probably. I might be the idiot that dollar cost averages all the way through the bear market. And if that is the case, then so be it. I'll wait another 4 years. Ava Pie 99 said Zora and Zcash. Let me take a look at Total 3 really quick. Total 3 is struggling to hold 1 trillion, unfortunately. It did go all the way down to 825 billion. Are we going to retrace and fill that wick? Probably. Again, though, I'm not going to hold my breath on it. I would love for this thing to hold 1 trillion. I don't know if I see it happening in the shorter term time frame. It took us a long time to get up here and actually hold above it. Dancing, 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 break, break, fake out to the downside, and then it finally held. Accumulation in this nice zone between 1 and 107, and then we attempted to break, and then this crazy event happened. Is it going to go up just as fast? Probably not. We've probably lost a solid month, at least a solid month of buildup. We're going to have to make up for that, and it's probably going to take a month at the very least to make up for that. ADA is down 0.94% on the day, currently trading at 63.15. ADA went down to its bear market lows, which is insane. A lot of coins went down 80, 90%. ADA was one of them. Maybe not 80, 90. ADA went down, I think, 50, 60. Let's actually measure. 60, 70, I'm sorry. Crazy. So is it going to continue to go lower? Is it going to fill the wick? I have no clue. No clue. Apparently, at some point, I was looking for a retrace down to 42. That was probably back here. And again, we got to keep this in mind as well. We've done this already. Maybe not this crazy wick, but we've done this crazy breakout, retrace, breakout, retrace. Is it consolidating? Probably. Are we going to continue higher? I hope so. Look at that. Look at that volume candle. Holy cow. Adam Salem said, great time to buy. I agree, Adam. Couldn't agree more. Nick said, madness. Yeah, that is crazy. It is, and it could be exchange specific. I did notice Coinbase was like 15 cents higher than everything else. Let's actually go look. Yeah, Coinbase did not do that at all. That was a exchange specific thing. ADA technically filled these wicks. So again, it has to do with the exchanges. It has to do with the liquidity. It has to do with the volume. There was no liquidity, no volume. On KuCoin specifically, people were market selling. They were panic market selling. And the only people with market buys, with buy orders, were down here at 25, 26 cents. So this lucky bastard, much akin to the $8,000 wick that we had on Binance US during the last bull market when Bitcoin was at $64,000, somebody hit market sell on Binance US and the price wicked all the way down to $8,000 for a microsecond. There was no trading down there for anybody to take advantage of it. Some smart bastard had a $8,000 buy order on Binance US and they were instantly $60,000 in profit. That is why it's maybe smart if you have the capital, because that money's useless to you. It's just sitting there in USD until that order gets filled. So it is just as much of a gamble as leverage trading, I would argue. But someone got ADA at 25, 26 cents down here on KuCoin specifically. So Manny Vera said, I picked up Ando at 40 cents yesterday. Hell yeah. Giovanni said, people really think retail got wiped. Retail doesn't long 90% of their bags. They spot buy. I think you're wrong, Giovanni. I actually think you're wrong. I would argue it's 50-50. If it wasn't 50-50, I would lean more towards retail. Unfortunately, majority of retail is leverage trading. Waterfly said, I am smart, but I am a smart bastard sometimes. See, Waterfly's got the capital to spread and the time and patience, and I respect that. I really do. Waterfly is the kind of guy that deserves to get $8,000 Bitcoin on Binance US. Giovanni said, Manny, you're so lucky mine wasn't going through. I only picked it up at 69. Nice. Nick said, bro, that's suspect. I don't know if it is. I really don't know if it is. I'm not going to discount anybody else's theories. I'm just in the other boat where I think it has to do with liquidity, volume, and lack thereof. Stupid retail and leverage, Waterfly said. I will say, and this is on a little bit of a darker tone, so I apologize. There was a famous Ukrainian crypto influencer. He was a wealthy guy who did take his own life during yesterday's carnage. So just make sure that you guys realize that it is play money, and even real money is play money. So if you made it once upon a time, you can make it back. There's never a point where there's no going back, anything like that. Always talk to somebody. It's just important. Communicate, you know. There's always somebody to talk to. Coach said, tell me one number, and I'm going to bet one Bitcoin on this number. I don't know. 8. 8's my favorite number. Okay, so yeah, ADA, quite a mystery. SNEK is down 1.6%. Let's go take a look at the requested assets. Where did it go? Looking. Was it really that long ago? Somebody asked for like 2 specific assets earlier. One of them was Zora. Zora and... I can't. Oh, Zora and Zcash. AvaPi asked for Zora and Zcash. Zora. Let's go on MXC. Zora gave 0 Fs. That's actually kind of sick. On MXC specific. Well, actually, maybe it didn't give 0 Fs. So it pumped up so nicely that the dump really only filled the pump. And it does look like filling that wick over here, which is quite interesting. The volume has sustained itself, which is also crazy. Your RSI seems to be rebounding at 50, which is nice. Your momentum wave did have a red dot going down. It does look like it wants to curl up with your RSI, so keep an eye out for that. You got a bearish cross over your moving average on the RSI during this dump. What's crazy is that some of these candles are bigger than your dumpy candle. So it almost is like a deleveraging situation. But this is a indecisive potential reversal candle here as well. If you're a candle person, I'm 50-50 on it. And it does look like eventually your moving average will cross bearish and your RSI will cross bullish over the moving average, leading to further upside. So this does actually look like a good chart. What was the other one? Zcash. Waterfly said, if he dies, he dies. He was obviously leveraged. He says that's dark. Holy shit. Waterfly went straight Lord of the Rings on this bitch. Damn. Fahid said, Z-scam for me. It's got to dump eventually. Take profits, I guess. Waterfly said Zcash was first I ever bought, even before BTC. Actually, that's kind of sick. That's kind of a cool story. Zcash is a cool one. Mine was Litecoin. I feel like an idiot. Literally, I'm pretty sure Charlie Lee just came out and said he regrets making Litecoin, which is like the biggest dick punch to all the holders. I feel so bad for all the holders because I was one of them once upon a time. I was like, oh, Charlie Lee sold his Litecoin to make it more decentralized. No, he didn't. He sold his Litecoin because he's that douchebag. Zcash exploding, little deleveraging, explosion, deleverage, explosion, mass deleverage, continued explosion. Why is it doing this? I actually have no idea. It is incredibly overbought on the 4-hour time frame. You got a green dot in your momentum wave, sending it even more overbought. What's going on here? No clue, to be completely honest. This thing is overbought like crazy. Let's look at it on a higher time frame. We forgot to do that yesterday as well. This thing is overbought. Oh my gosh. I have no words. Look at the volume, though. That looks pretty. So it looks like this thing got incredibly oversold over time, and it is recovering now. Is it going to do this again? Maybe. I have no idea. So be careful. It is reaching those levels. And I don't know if it's ever been higher than 375. So be careful, guys. Just be careful. It does look pretty, though. It is quite a pretty chart. This, to me, is an alt season chart. Zcash is experiencing its own alt season. All right. XRP is up 0.72% on the day, currently trading at 238.74. I literally joked the other day. I was like, I'm going to open a short on XRP. And I read that thing and I was like, maybe not. I should have, because I'd probably buy a house today if I did. I need to start listening to myself, and then I'll own a home. I will say, whatever my downside target was, I kind of look like a genius right here, not counting the scam wicks to the downside. You do have to take into consideration the crazy situation that is this candle and $1.25 XRP. The fact that it's 238 right now, insane, absolutely insane. A lot of wicks to the downside, signaling buy pressure. Is it going to fill the wicks, though? I don't know. Is it even possible? Is it reasonable to think that the alt wicks will get filled? Bitcoin wick is kind of reasonable because Bitcoin went down to 100K. Big freaking deal. Alts got scam wicked down to like near zero. So I don't know if altcoins refilling the wicks is even a consideration that we need to think about. What's nice about XRP is we got a green dot on the momentum wave at oversold, and it is continuing to the upside. RSI still has yet to cross bullish over the moving average, so we'll keep an eye on that. And the price is pushing down. So let's see. What's nice? I would like to hold above $2 as of right now. Let's see if we hold above 230. HBAR is up 2.38% on the day. One of the few green coins on the watch list today. Does seem to be doing a little double bottom situation at 1644. It's currently trading at 1682. Can it break above 1783 and continue to the upside, or is it doomed to repeat what everything else is doing? HBAR Wick down to 7 cents. Actually, 50% is not too bad considering the other alts. Similar to XRP, you got a green down on your momentum wave at oversold. It is continuing to the upside. RSI has yet to cross bullish over your moving average. Something to keep an eye on. There is buying pressure, so let's see if that continues to accumulate and trend to the upside. SWE is down 2.68% on the day, currently trading at 253.49. Is SWE going to hold 250? And if it doesn't, is it going to hold 225, 223? SWE wicked all the way down to 56 cents. How is that even possible? I couldn't tell you. Nick said, bro, I feel you. Inside trading. Manny Vera said, how long do you think yesterday's dumps set up back a few months? I think one solid month of uptrend. If we start to get uptrend, I think one solid month is fair. A few months is not unreasonable, though. I think it would be less, like significantly less than 6 months. If I had to guess, like worst case scenario, I'd say 3. 1 month already feels like a nightmare, though, so I'll take 1 month. But he said, Ivan Drago. Nick said, facts. Can you look at fear and greed ratio? Yes, I will. Tom Selkscode said, Adam Wick is wild, JJ. Look at track amongst all this nonsense. Fahid said, we could have 300x Adam in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes if we caught the bottom. Fahid, I don't think anybody caught that bottom. Adam dumped so much that one single entity now controls over 30% of the supply. That is how bad Adam got. And that, again, goes to show you thin order book, low liquidity, low volume. Retail is gone. They tested it yesterday, and they found out there's no retail here anymore. The prices went damn near zero because nobody's setting up buy orders and whatever. They, without having to consult all of these exchanges and everything, because there's too many, and you probably can't trust all of them, they figured out there's no retail. Zero. Billy said, JJ, your mic is screwing up. Is it really? Don't tell me that. Can you hear me? Billy, I will demod you. Am I having dropouts? For real? Everybody else, let me know in the chat if my, I'm going to do a poll. Okay. Giganex said, wow. All right, hang on. Can you look at fear and greed ratio? Yes, I can. Adam Salem said, I've been investing in spot ETFs without a crypto wallet. Do you think I should go to Coinbase if I want to buy fast while the market closed? Okay. Yes, I would recommend Coinbase just because they probably have the most safeguards, they're the most regulated. I do have a referral link in the description if you want to use that. I think we both get money as well. And I guess my only disclaimer would be sometimes, like yesterday when the market was all spicy like that, my Coinbase was not working. I could not buy. So you're going to run into a similar situation if the market's spiced up. I imagine with the stock market, they don't do that, but they also kind of close trading sometimes if stuff does get too spicy. So maybe it's a similar situation. The only difference is with crypto, it's because of high traffic, but it also happens to be during times where people would want to buy or sell and take advantage of it. So it seems a little suspect, if you will. That's why on-chain is nice, because on-chain does not fail. If I had a bunch of stable coins on like ETH and the market dipped like crazy and I wanted to buy something, take advantage of it, I would have no problem. 0 problems swapping on-chain. So centralized exchange, it's a good option for 24/7 trading for crypto. But when the market gets heated up like that, on-chain is always going to be your best friend. But that's also a very rare situation to try to take advantage of. So it is what it is. Tom Seltzgoat said, Mike sounds fine to me. Yeah, Philly, you're in trouble. 78% of people said no. Okay. Fahid said, even then, tokenized ones you can't really offload unless it's tokenized, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Giovanni said, I'm honestly scared of holding stablecoins, oddly enough. Yeah, there's always going to be, stuff that is and isn't sketchy, especially in crypto. It's so deregulated. Did we talk about SWE? Yeah, let's see if SWE holds 250. If it loses it, then 225. $2 is my bottom line. If it gets below $2, it's going to get a little too spiced up for me. Kind of weenie. Ondo's up 3.69%. It's trying to recover. Can Ondo stay above 50 cents? It did wick all the way down to 25. 50 cents would be my bottom. What's unfortunate about Ondo specifically is we had this blue, like I would call it a legacy trend line that has 3 hits and then a fake out. Is this going to be a secondary fake out? I have no idea. We seem to have broken below it and are rejecting it now, which is not a great thing. Can we find support and then continue to the upside? I don't know. We're sitting below 75, so we're probably going lower. Let's see if 60 holds. Arrow's down 6.37% on the day. Purple trend line in play. It is a flat trend line. Why is it here? I have no clue. It has to be... That has to be some kind of important liquidity level that I put on here for some reason. I don't know why it's there. We're at 78.33. 75 is going to be a big point of contention. If we lose that, then we might go down to 50. I don't know. We are incredibly oversold on all of these assets, though, so my bearish talk is going to be overshadowed by the fact that we're incredibly oversold, and we could rebound hard any second. So also keep that in mind for everything that I've said up until this point. Philly said, JJ, do a full screen plus audio record. The recording is in the Discord. I mean, that sounds like your internet's just bad, Philly. I'll listen to it later. I'll listen to it later and see if I can figure something out. Giovanni said, at least crypto, I know, could lose my money. What? If stables get screwed and that's supposed to be my safe money? Yeah, that's true. All right, guys, we got less than 1 minute remaining until the daily close contest, so make sure you guys stick around for that. Let's go to it, actually. Aerodrome. I want to see Aero stay above 75. Again, if we lose 75, then 50 could be in play. Not financial advice. Everything's oversold, so keep that in mind as well. 1 minute time frame. Let's zoom in, guys. Daily close contest rules. If you're not familiar, let me know in the chat, and I will go over them. Bottom line, what you want to do is make sure that you get your guess in the chat for what you think the price of Bitcoin is going to close at today in 10 minutes and 27 seconds. You got a 5-minute window to vote. 24 seconds until you can start. Or I guess submit. Submit's a better word instead of vote. The max prize for the daily close contest is $300. And that would be like, you get it right away. I'm not like I'll get back to you tomorrow kind of guy. Get your guesses in for the daily close contest. Ladies and gentlemen, I will say the people that do that drive me crazy. If I win a contest on your channel, give me my prize. Don't delay it for a week. That's annoying. And if you have to delay it for a week because you don't have the money, don't do the contest. All right. Let's see. We got Giovanni Fontes coming in with 110, 780 and 69 cents. Cheers, guys. Happy Saturday. We survived the greatest cryptocurrency liquidation event in history so far. You would have thought yesterday that Satoshi moved some of his Bitcoin with how crazy it got. Tom Selleck Scope coming in with 110, 860. Dremmer coming in with 110, 420, 69. Oh yeah, if you guys are new, I suggest submitting your guess either like Dremmer or Giovanni with letters in between each number, because sometimes YouTube filters it out and does not allow it to come through. It thinks it's a phone number or a scam. I have no idea. So if you do want to submit and make sure that it goes through, put it a certain way. Put the letters in between the numbers. If you don't see me type it out, then I don't see it. And there is a time delay as well. Waterfly, who won yesterday, 110 even. I'm sorry, 111 even. Flash said how to enter. You just have to submit it in the chat. That's all you got to do. You have to like the video and submit your guess in the chat. Now, when you submit it in the chat, I'm going to suggest that you put a letter in between each number, because sometimes YouTube filters out, and it's very random. He just came through with a 6-digit number. It had no problem. He's also a mod. So sometimes you have to break it up. You can do 3 and 3 and 3 or whatever. But I would just recommend putting letters in between each number. I'm perfectly capable of deciphering it. That's so stupid that I have to explain that. YouTube's what a crap show. Okay, last guy we got was Waterfly. We also got Giovanni said, yes, we did. Let's go. I'm hype. I am also hype. Giovanni, I am so hype right now. Okay. Fahid coming in with 110,999. Giga Nick is going 115. I'm gonna assume that that's 115 even, or is it 1150? I guess I'll type it out as you put it in there. 115.0, 1150. Yeah. Just have fun, studio. What's going on? Just have fun. Adam Salem, sick name. 111,400. It is first come first serve as well. So if you guess somebody else's guess, then it's basically void. Flash coming in with 110,906. Okay, see, Flash had no problem. That's good. I'm glad. So there's a chance for you to win here, up to $300 if you nail all 6 digits with Bitcoin. Now, if you don't include change, I'm going to assume it's 0.00. And that, again, if like Flash, if Bitcoin closes at 110,906 even, you would win $300. Now, it is Price is Right rules. So if your guess is over at all, then your guess is completely void. Okay, Nick fixed his. Thank you, Nick. 111, 150. Got you. Okay. So, closest without going over wins bragging rights. If you nail the first 6 digits, you win $20. If you nail all 8, which includes the change, then you win $300. The price is normally, the grand prize is normally $100, but we've had Mr. Robbers and Tyler match the grand prize, so that has graduated now to $300. Fahid coming in with a change. 110,950. Nick said, sorry, thank you, no problem. Philly said $25. Okay, I got you, Philly. That's how Waterfly won yesterday, I think, with a $1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 30 seconds left to get your guesses in for the daily close contest. I think we've reached our max, but I'm going to allow as many as possible. I don't really care today. Today we're chilling. We're having fun. Cheers, guys. Hard cutoff is 5 minutes prior. We do this every single day. Now, after the $300 prize is won, the prize is probably going back down to $100, unless Tyler and Mr. Roberts want to commit themselves to more, but that's up to them. 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for participating. Let's get these bad boys on the board. First things first, we got Adam Salem coming in with 111,400. And then we've got Nick, Giga Nick, coming in with 111,150. And then we've got 111,000, Waterfly. And then we've got Fahid coming in with 110,950. Nice gap there, Fahid. And then we've got 110,906 from Flash. Something tells me Flash is really fast or bright. Tom Selleck Goat. He's probably never going to come here again. He's like, what a stupid joke. 110,860. It smells like bonfire outside, and it's tripping me out. It smells so nostalgic. Giovanni Fontes, 110,780.69. Look at how you guys are almost all evenly gapped. It's quite satisfying to look at. I forgot to put Giovanni's name on here. Whoopsie. Oops. Did it again. Okay. Drummer with 110,420.69. That's a good guess right there. I like that one. Big gap, too. Good job, Drummer. And then we got Philly. I'm going to just manually put Philly down here. Represents $25. So if it goes below that, I got to be reminded to move the price. Currently, Drummer is in the lead, ladies and gentlemen. We got 3 minutes and 16 seconds remaining on the clock. That might be the fastest that I've added this many people to the chart. I am on fire today. I've made some pretty good trades. I'm very excited. The momentum has re-entered the market, at least for a short period of time. It does feel good to trade into momentum. Doesn't happen often, at least in today's current landscape. You know, there's not a lot of retail. There is not a lot of retail. Who was it? Was it Giovanni earlier saying that retail wasn't that over leveraged? I think I saved one of the things. It might be in the news segment. Some guy specifically talked about right here. I'm going to pull this one up while we wait. I got 2 minutes and some seconds. I'm sorry. I'm going to skip it for a second. This guy posted, somebody's 1 hour ago, all my savings, 6 years of dollar cost average got liquidated last night. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I feel bad because somebody lost their life savings, but you should not be dollar cost averaging into a leveraged position. And even if you are, most of your money, not financial advice, but if you don't want what happened to a lot of people yesterday to happen to you, most of your money should be going into spot bags. Be safe. It's a safe bet. You can wait an extra year till like retire. That's all it takes. Stop trying to make up for losses with leverage. Stop trying to make it back with leverage. You just got to be a little bit patient. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute, 43 seconds remaining on the clock. Giovanni said, not going to lie, he's dumb. I was that guy once upon a time too, though. I remember the 3x tokenized leverage on KuCoin. Ooh, that's all I put my money in, was those stupid tokenized tokens, tokenized leverage tokens on KuCoin. And it was the biggest. I don't know if I ever made money on them. I'm kind of mad at myself for even thinking that that was a possibility. But they're like, you can't get liquidated. I was like, oh, let's go. But they go down to like fractions of pennies. So the lack of liquidation leaves you with like a penny if you're lucky. So that kind of defeats the purpose. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the candle that will determine the fate of our winner. Currently, Dremmer is still in the lead with a guess of 110, 420, and 69 cents. Bitcoin trading at 110, 675, and 42 cents. Are we going to get a big fat wick up or down, making somebody else the winner? Or is it going to stay right where it's at in Dremmer's cavernous gap, making him the winner? Is it worth it, though, with a gap that big? Congratulations, Dremmer, preemptively on your possible victory. 110, 644, and 40 cents on Bitcoin. 32 seconds remaining on the clock. What's it going to be? What are you guys thinking? Are we closing red or green? We are not oversold on the RSI. However, our momentum wave is below the safe zone, so it is technically oversold on the momentum wave. Don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Happy Saturday. What if I said congrats, guy? Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, Dremmer, on your victory. Bitcoin daily close price, 110, 644, and 40 cents. I repeat, 110, 644, and 40 cents. 110, 644, and 40 cents. Congratulations, Dremmer, once again on your victory. Ladies and gentlemen, spam the bananas in the chat for our winner. Is Dremmer on the board? Dremmer is. He's moving up from 5 wins to 6 wins. Congratulations, my friend. Moving up in the world. With a guess of 110, 420, 69. Very nice. An impressive guess as well. Very cool. And Bitcoin's getting a little spicy here. Let's go back to the 4-hour time frame and clear the board for our winner after I press his button. Yay! Very cool. Drummer is moving up. It's an exciting time. I told you guys, everyone on the board is moving up one by one. We have had the entire board successfully progress, which is pretty exciting stuff. We've also had a ton of new people enter the game, which is very exciting. All right, let me add Dremmer to the winners Google Doc. Exciting stuff. Dremmer winning day 1 post mass liquidation event. Congratulations, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get a drum roll, please? The winner of today's daily close contest with a guess of 110, 420, and 69 cents. Nice. And an actual Bitcoin daily close of 110, 644, and 40 cents on October 11th, 2025. Mr. Dremmer's prize is a bottleneck squash. Congratulations, Dremmer, on your victory. Feel free to slice this bad boy up. You can cook it, you can fry it, you can include it into some like pasta meal or something like that. and share it with your friends, your peers, your fellow competitors, your coworkers, your employer. Whatever you do, you are legally obligated to remove it from the premises. Congratulations once again on your victory. Enjoy. And I forgot to spam bananas. You guys spammed bananas so good that I felt like I didn't need to. Congratulations. Very cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got some more charts to go through. So let's continue. Congratulations, Tremor, once again. Enjoy your bottleneck squash. Very fun. Very cool. All right, we were at... Where were we? Arrow? Yeah. We've grown slow through the charts. Pinlink next. Pinlink did break our formation of our fractal, which is somehow not surprising. It was following the fractal a little too good. I don't know if it's botted or something, but definitely a little suspect. Is it going to get back above 39.93? We are in a territory where there is exactly zero structure. I guess my next argument, my next situation is going to be, since this was like the Pico bottom right here, are we going to have trouble getting above that again? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. If we establish some sort of bottom, 30 seems to be, I guess, maybe relative strength. Maybe 32 even. We're going to have to start looking at psychological levels here because there's nothing else to look at. We are out of oversold territory, which is interesting. We did get a green down on our momentum wave as well, so let's see if this thing continues to move up. Drummer said it looks like raw chicken on my phone. That's disgusting. Billy said, I don't know exactly how this works, but doesn't that flash crash down to bear market lows and validate the bull market? I'm not entirely sure. TA is subjective. And the flash crash to bear market lows was for alts, which technically I would argue have not been in a bull market this entire time. Bitcoin closed above the bull market support band, so Bitcoin is still completely safe. And I would argue that Bitcoin is the only metric that we need to look at when you try to make the argument that we are not in a bull market. Unfortunately, we are inching closer and closer, especially with what happened yesterday. And if the possibility of us kind of lingering the rest of the year ends up happening, then we might have to face the fact that the 4-year cycle either isn't a thing at all or is no longer a thing. And we've looked at that business model chart that Stock Money Lizard shares. I think it's Stock Money Lizards. It might be Tech Dev. I think it might be Tech Dev. And he makes the argument that the 4-year cycle never mattered, never was a thing. The business cycle just so happened to correlate with the halving and every 4 years with Bitcoin. But it is actually, in fact, maybe technically irrelevant. So it's all subjective. It's going to be a learning situation, I hope. Render is up 0.23 since the daily close. Are we getting a little double bottom situation here, or is Render truly rejecting $2.60 and heading towards $2? It looks like that might be the fact. But again, I would not be surprised to see some semblance of progress to the upside because we are still incredibly oversold. We got a green down in our momentum wave. We have yet to cross back above the oversold area on our market cipher as well. And this is a reversal candle right there as well. So signs point towards upside, but we'll have to wait and see. Don't take that bet based on what I just said either, please. I'm scared for everybody right now. Same situation on XLM, double bottom situation, a lot of wicks. As upside coming, probably, possibly. We are holding above 32.13, which is exciting. We do have a confirmed green dot on market cipher. A lot of buying pressure. This thing went all the way down to 16 cents. It was 50% down from where it's at right now. From where it started, it went down 57-58%, which is insanity. Big boy pullbacks. I wanted to point this out. Where is it? Right here. Discover crypto and altcoin daily. Dips are normal in bull markets. This is true. 38%. This is for Bitcoin as well. Yesterday, Bitcoin at its peak, as bad as it got yesterday, even measuring from here, that was 15-16% pullback. And it seems huge. It seems like a lot because Bitcoin was at $120,000, but that's the problem. Everyone's looking at it with this new perspective that we are like at all-time highs, 120K. Bitcoin can't be stopped, but we're still going to have par for the course big pullbacks, and maybe 15-16% is the new norm with that newly inflated market cap versus 40% 40% for alts, especially watching what happened yesterday with this low liquidity, low volume situation. Alts would probably pull back like 60 to 80% because we were like 30 to 50% yesterday for alts with a 15% Bitcoin pullback. So imagine if Bitcoin went twice that much. It's crazy. It sucks to think about, but it's something you got to keep in mind, especially with the current market. Polkadot, similar situation. All of these charts, unfortunately, look the same. I'm not going to really point out anything different. So I'm just going to flick through them, I suppose, relatively quick. Unless you guys got something specific you want me to see, feel free to shout out in the chat. I'll happily deeply analyze a specific chart if you want me to. Polkadot also looks like a little double bottom situation. We got potential support at around 277. We'll see if we hold that. Wicked all the way down to 61 cents. Farcoin got decimated, dude. Fart you can't trust. We are currently sitting below 40.33, and I have no structure down here. The chart has structure though, so let me see. We could find support here. Could find support here. And I think that's it. I would say resistance right around here. Maybe. And then I'll go one more support line right here. And that's strictly based on previous price action. I'm surprised it didn't wick lower. It very easily could have. Farcoin, oddly enough, as bad as it got, showed some semblance of strength. This candle is 36%, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Strength is subjective, depending on what situation you're looking at. Adam Salem said tempted to buy MicroStrategy. What's their after hours look at? CAS is down 0.5% on the day, currently trading at 56728. Missed opportunity. It did hold above 51, which is good. This is a 21% candle, and it looks like it wants to fill the wick. But again, it's oversold, incredibly oversold, especially on Market Cipher. That's deep. That is a deep momentum wave. So let's see if CAS recovers. I don't know. It seems very unlikely, at least for the current time. Check out track for me. Okay, let's go take a look at track. Origin Trail. KuCoin. Oh my gosh, beautiful. What happened with this? Did it dip? I suppose it did. You got two sell wicks, and then I'm assuming the dip. No. Yeah, that's gotta be it. And it instantly recovered. Why though? Why is this recovering so well? Interesting. I vividly remember this one from last bull market because their purple logo drew the eye. It looks very uniform. There's some selling happening. You got some wicks, but it's continuing to the upside. Beautiful volume here. Green dot pushing it up. Bullish cross over the moving average and the RSI. Is this the only bullish coin in the entire market right now? Why does this look so good? Let's see. I guess your next area, if you can get above 60, then start looking at like 70, 72 area. 60 is going to be right here. 68, let's call it 61. Because you got these points of confluence right here. You got a bounce, you got resistance, you got resistance, you got a bunch of bounces right here. 61 is going to be a pretty decent area of contention. Resistance, support, 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 resistance, resistance. So yeah, there's a lot of price action at that 61 area. That actually seems like the median based on this current price action. So you get above that, get in between 61 and 72, and you could accumulate for a little while and set up for a nice blast to the past. And by past, I mean previous price action where it was higher than 72. Avalanche down 0.42% since the daily close. Currently sitting at 21.37. Are we going to hold above 20? I hope so. Is it going to get lower? If it does, I'm probably going to buy some. This thing wicked all the way down to 850. Jeez. So there's some structure here. I feel like the coins that didn't have structure didn't recover as good as the coins that do. And Avalanche looks like it recovered relatively decent. Can it stay above 20? That's the hope. Is it going to do a fake out to 19? Maybe. But we're holding above 20 right now, so fingers crossed. Chainlink seems like it held up really well, actually. Chainlink also went down to $8, currently sitting at $17.12. Little double bottom situation. Indecisive candle right here. Look at that. A lot of sell pressure, very little buy pressure. And the next candle is turning red. This big volume right here. You got a confirmed green dot on market cipher right here. And it has since dumped. So are we going to continue downside? Is it going to fulfill, the fractal? Why does the fractal account for this? Okay, we need to take into consideration the concept, the idea, the possibility of October sucking and November being Moonvember and no Uptober this year, strictly based on this stupid fractal. So that's a concept, that's an idea. We do have a confirmed green dot on market cipher here though too, which was where? Same exact candle. Did I point that out already? Maybe I pointed that out already. So let's see. Can we stay above 15? Because we already lost 17.5. Yeah, that fractal is trippy, isn't it? I was not expecting that. I think it's a daily. It might even be a weekly fractal. Let's go to weekly. Yeah, I think it's weekly fractal. Look at that. What is happening? What? I mean, it didn't account for it going all the way down to the purple trend line, but the purple trend line is relevant. It accounted for $12. Spicy meatball. Dang, $12 is like 50% from its like volume high. Jeez. All right. Anyways, back to business. We've got Doge. Doge holding above 17.9. That's good. It's at 18.30 or 18.43. Getting a little dyslexic. I apologize. If we lose 17.9, 14.5, possibly, hopefully 15 could be in play. This thing wicked all the way down to 9. It recovered nicely. We do have a confirmed green dot on market cipher right back here. Is this dip going to become a rip? I hope so. Hopefully all of these fractals and bearish things are wrong and the market just blasts the upside. Near down 0.91 since the daily close. We are losing our trend line, which is fine. There is a overall prevailing structure here. Actually, this looks like a flat. No, it doesn't. Does it? Yes, it does, actually. So look at this. You got touch, touch. Are you going to get a third touch and then hopefully continue to the upside, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. That almost seems like a midpoint in between 169, nice, and 194. Interesting. Very interesting. Currently 228. Can we stay above $2 is the bottom line. That is the ultimate question. RSI oversold. Momentum wave not quite, but getting there. Banger's down 0.04 since the daily close. We lost 22.58. Are we going to continue down? If we do, the next structural area is going to be probably 169. Nice. And then after that, 14.7-ish. So let's see how low she can go. She is oversold, incredibly oversold. Green dot on the momentum wave on market cipher, which is also oversold. Are we going to push up or are we going to continue down towards 16.9? Silver continuing its historic run, $50.12. Apparently we all should have bought silver in stocks. DXY getting a little bit dumpy, interestingly enough. MicroStrategy down 4.84%. Still lingering at 300. It did wick all the way down to 285 at one point, though. So what's it going to be for Monday? I'm not entirely sure. I'm very interested in seeing how the stock market reacts to the continued efforts of whatever Illuminati situation this may be. NASDAQ down 4.47 since yesterday as well. Got pretty decimated. Same with the S&P 500. I'm curious. Obviously, the Trump admin has had a historic run in the stock market. Is it going to continue? And are moves like this required for this continuation? I don't know. It's definitely interesting to watch for sure. I'm kind of excited. I'm weirdly excited to be able to experience this. Bitcoin dominance continues to fall. Hopefully, it's going to lose this 60 again, and we can get right back to our regularly scheduled programming below 59.2. Until then, though, we'll continue to keep you guys posted. Bitcoin chilling 110, 410, and 12 cents. Congratulations, Dremmer, once again on your victory. Enjoy your bottleneck squash. That is not raw chicken. Let's see. We got some news segments, guys. News segment alert. Bitcoin's taker buy sell ratio on Bybit spiked to 12.68, signaling a surge in aggressive long positions. Somebody asked earlier if we could look at fear and greed. Let's go take a look at it really quick. The alternative.me fear and greed is at 24. I don't like this one personally because 15% of what they used to measure is just no longer being measured. It says, we don't give those results too much attention. It was quite useful at the beginning of our studies, blah, blah, blah. They just don't include 15% of what they used to use to weigh this metric, which is a little bit irritating to me. So I like CoinMarketCap's a little bit better, but this is a local low in the recent history, at least. But CoinMarketCap is at 31. Alt Season Index is at 34. We've completely lost the concept of alt season, which is not surprising. It didn't feel like alt season to me anyways. Fear and greed. Getting a little spicy here, guys. Getting a little bit spicy. 31. I would not be surprised if come Monday this is in the red, if at extreme fear. All right, next, Marty Party. This is like part of where everything, all this conspiracy stuff stemmed from. Cheers, guys. I'm going to take a drink so that I can read better. Don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Feel free to join the Discord as well. It's completely free. It's a lot of fun. A lot of good stock picks in the Discord, oddly enough. Marty Party posted, if you think today's event was caused by Trump, you are an idiot. This was a collusion to remove the leverage in the crypto industry using the Trump-China macro catalyst as a narrative. This is just ongoing evidence of the damage caused by the lack of regulation in our asset class, which is technically decoupled from dollar pricing through unregulated entities which the power to manipulate at will at the cost of retail. Or with the power, I'm sorry. Orlando said, dump it. What's going on, Orlando? How you doing, my friend? How was yesterday for you? Was it crazy? I actually got excited on the ride home when I saw this insane price action. So this chart is probably my favorite chart so far. I'm actually going to repost this because it feels like what just happened. It did not feel like we peaked on Bitcoin. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we did. Who knows? But we're talking trend emergence, shakeout, momentum building, first sentiment extreme, and then bear trap. That is what that felt like. Orlando said, yo, 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 miss you. I miss you too, my friend. I hope you're doing good. And then eventually we got renewed optimism, FOMO, euphoria. Posted this on every dip. This guy right here. Wall Street psychology. Whoever created that probably feels so vindicated from everybody sharing it all the time. Next, we got Ash Crypto, this monstrous post, so bear with me. I am going to read the entire thing. This was posted October 1st. We did bring attention to this, and I think I've mentioned it a couple of times. I didn't suspect this craziness to happen. Orlando, thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you, my friend. Ash Crypto, my October prediction. I think we are seeing a pump to make everyone believe Pumptober is real, and soon we can get a nasty drop where Bitcoin dumps closer to 106K level and ETH dumps near 3,800 or lower. Everyone will think Pumptober is canceled. This will happen to liquidate all the bulls and mainly the retail. This phase will happen until mid-October, 15th to 20th max. When everyone is bearish, people think Pumptober is canceled, shorts pile up, and bears are confident. That's when the market will bounce and start giving Q4 parabolic candles, likely towards the last 10 days of October. Then October monthly close will close with a massive percentage gain, and the Q4 parabolic pump will start, which will send Bitcoin to 150 to 180, ETH to 8 to 12K, and the true alt season will finally begin, sending alts 10 to 50x in just 3 to 4 months. I can be wrong, and we keep pumping from here. I'm 85% in the market, so I wanted to pump from here, but the market always does the opposite, so I'm holding 15% cash to buy the dip, prepare for this scenario. If it goes up, my 85% will profit. If it goes down, I will use my 15% to buy the dip. To win in this market, you need to plan for both sides. Overall, I'm giga bullish on Q4. Like and repost if I should do more predictions like this. I love this. Everyone thinks Ash Crypto is a scammer. I don't think he is. I haven't seen anything scammy from him, to be completely honest. I'm going to actually follow him. And this post is 1000% spot on. Philly said JJ. Take a look at this, please. Let me see. Philly shared. Okay, so we got this from Philly. What happened in the last 36 hours was engineered. An artificial dump that punished traders, not holders. Most couldn't even catch the dip because exchanges froze right when it mattered most. They are manipulating it because they still can. Once regulation takes hold and institutional capital enters, this kind of market control will vanish. They know the real money isn't here yet. They know time is running out. Every turning point in history starts with a moment that feels unfair. You must think of it that way. The dot-com collapse built the internet age. The housing crash created a decade of new wealth, and now chaos in crypto is setting the stage for a global financial reset. This is not the end. It is the separation between those who react and those who understand. Lock in. I love that, Philly. I absolutely love this. Thank you for sharing. Genius. I'm going to repost this as well. What a freaking badass post. I'm gonna follow this guy too. Why not? I need some more crypto stuff in my feed. It's all people fighting and like cute animals. Okay, then we got Stock Money Lizards. Posted September 25th, the promised update. As expected, we saw fake out stop hunt now pushing price below 110. He posted yesterday. Wow, what a liquidation cascade. And I was wrong. It shows you once again how important risk management is. It turns out my latest October up only reset to 118K was wrong. And we indeed needed to swipe this 105K liquidity. After this shock, Bitcoin is now trading back again at 113K. For me, the outlook hasn't changed. I'm a trader, and every leveraged position has a tight stop loss. Every long-term position has limit orders in place for pullbacks. We'll provide an update tomorrow. For now, macro outlook hasn't changed for me until we break key levels and indicators. Stay safe. Hashtag Bitcoin. Orlando said, Philly, Bears are back. Let's Evan go. Philly said, LOL, Orlando, stop it. Yeah, Bears definitely won yesterday. I'm kind of bummed because like 2-3 days ago, I was like, I'm in a short XRP. And then I was like, nah, never mind. I would have made a ridiculous amount of money if I had just committed to that. This one cracked me up. Me showing my wife the 100K we invested in crypto is now worth 37 cents. Oh, it's good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, then we got the Discover Crypto Altcoin Daily. Dips are normal in a bull market. That is 100% true. I mentioned it the day before we crashed. I said Bitcoin normally dips 20% during the bull market. We haven't seen any of those dips yet. Yesterday was the first day that we did, and it wasn't even 20, it was 15%. And apparently normally it's like 40, which is insane. I think what we saw was a lack of liquidity, lack of depth, lack of order book depth, lack of volume. There's no retail left. So there's no one to buy the dips. The dips kept dipping on alts on certain exchanges where people just weren't like, they didn't care enough to set up buy orders. So the price just went down like crazy. And the exchanges had no choice but to fill the orders. There are, again, a million conspiracies. So we're going to go through some of those in this news segment. It's going to be a longer one today. Make sure you guys stick around. Appreciate you guys for being here. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Less than 2 weeks ago, Jim Cramer said, buy crypto. Today, the crypto market had they say one of, but it is confirmed, the biggest crash in history. Yesterday, the biggest crash in history took place. So thank you, Jim Cramer. Poor guy. Binance and Coinbase report degraded performance with transactions due to heavy market activity. I think that there should be a class action lawsuit and everybody should get $50 from them. I think that'd be funny. Crypto market records largest single day liquidation event in history. This one's pretty good. I like this one. Binance co-founder Yi He says users who suffered losses attributable to the exchange can request compensation. I like that. They're taking responsibility. They're like, we just made $10 billion off of you idiots. So yes, we're more than willing to give you guys like $1 million to shut you up. So if you have any issues, let us know and we'll send you $50. That's basically what just went down. 2 weeks ago, Eric Trump said Q4 will be unbelievable for crypto. Yesterday, the market recorded the largest single-day liquidation event in history. I do want to point out, and I pointed this out yesterday as well, just before this event happened, just before this took place, I'm going to pull it up right here. Give me 1 second. We had Morgan Stanley lift all restrictions on Bitcoin and crypto for all of their clients. Trying to find it right here. Right here. Just before this event, this liquidation event took place, $1.3 trillion Morgan Stanley removed restrictions on Bitcoin and crypto investments for all clients. And then, bam, the perfect entry point. I'm not trying to feed the conspiracy. I'm not a big believer in the conspiracy, but I'm not going to outright say people are wrong either. I'm just on the more simple boat, but I'm more than willing to change my mind. Binance CEO Richard Tang says the company will learn from what happened and it is committed to doing better. I'm truly sorry to everyone who's impacted. He doesn't give a shit. I'm just saying. Omer Goldberg. This is why a price oracle is a risk oracle. This is a long one too, so bear with me. This is the cornerstone, the foundation to most of the conspiracies. This is the one that people like the most. Secondary market price of Athena Labs USDE temporarily hit 65 cents on secondary markets like Binance due to the market sell-off following Trump's China tariff news. All of this while USDE was over-collateralized, continuing to function with no downtime and processed mints and burns. The Chaos Labs price methodology saved $4.5 billion worth of positions on Aave and saving users $180 million in liquidation penalties and cascades thereafter. This pricing methodology was developed following a lively debate within the DAO. We advocate for it due to the existence of the Athena Proof of Reserve Oracle and our deep analysis of the protocol. We'll do a full summary of the market's happenings and Oracle performance soon, but TLDR, Aave and users' funds are safe. That is actually freaking badass. So whatever happened here, them preventing it is pretty sick. That's pretty cool. That I would trust my money with whoever this guy is and whatever they did. Because it sounds like they did the right thing. Marty Party posted this guy's post and said, more evidence my theories hold true. Dollar prices oracles are the biggest single point of failure in our industry. Together with centralized bridges and unregulated opaque order books. Yeah. Yep. Marty Party also posted stablecoin mint 5 minutes ago. Circle issued another 250 million USDC on Solana. Solana's core team Anza said last night's liquidation event was the network's biggest stress test, reaching 100,000 transactions per second while remaining fully stable. That's actually pretty sick. We got another stablecoin mint, another 500 million USDC issued by Circle on Solana. Another big one from Marty Party. All cross-chain leverage longs were liquidated yesterday, down to 2x leverage on most altcoins. The system is free of leverage and able to rise now once longs entered yesterday at the Wick lows are cleared. Same thing happened in 2017 and 2020. The mechanisms by which the exchanges and market makers collude to trigger these cascades is still the biggest risk in our asset class and needs to be investigated and banned. This was not organic and not normal. Spot holders are unaffected in notional value, but the asset class bears the blame with this, or when it is the casino, the centralized exchanges and illegal market makers that orchestrate these events. They sell leverage trades and then liquidate them uncorrelated to market structure or fair market value, pure manipulation and predatory behavior. Yesterday will change the dollar market side of crypto forever. I've been narrating this for years. You were warned. This also is why spot is preferred to everything else. Spot people didn't get liquidated. You know, they may have lost 20% of the US dollar value of their bags if they had sold the bottom, but they did not get liquidated. They still hold the same quantity of assets that they held the day before yesterday, unless they bought. Marty Party posted accumulate Solana under 200, accumulate Sweet under 5, spot buy and move immediately to self-custody, sold to Phantom Jupiter and Backpack Wallet, Sweet to Slush Wallet. You have to take advantage of the event yesterday and seize this opportunity. I like it. Kobayashi Letter posted yesterday's crypto liquidation led to Bitcoin's first ever $20,000 daily swing. Bitcoin alone erased $380 billion in market cap over just 8 hours. There's more than the market cap of all but 25 public companies in the world. Oh, that's more than the market. That's crazy. That's so insane. Next, we got this was an unprecedented liquidation event amid the crypto crash yesterday. XRP erased a whopping 50% of its market cap in 30 minutes. At 4:50 p.m. Eastern Time, XRP was worth 161 billion. By 5:20 p.m. Eastern Time, XRP was worth 80 billion. What happened to XRP? There was no liquidity, no volume. Nobody was there to buy. That's crazy. Then we got another funny one on theme with the channel. Risk appetite is skyrocketing in China. Stock turnover in China's stock market hit a record 2.2 trillion yuan year to date. This surpassed the previous record set in 2024, with 1.3 yuan was turned over. Since 2022, turnover has more than tripled. This comes as the CSI 300, China's main stock index, posted its 5th consecutive monthly gain in September, the longest streak in 8 years. The index has now risen 19.6% year to date. China's equity market is gaining momentum. Genuinely, 100% truly believe that Trump and Xi Jinping are in cahoots and they're orchestrating all of this to make their, I don't know, the stock market do good. Who knows? Giovanni said, I want a cold wallet, but I don't want to pay transaction fees to move them there and then back when I sell. Gotta be a better way. Yeah. You can get a paper wallet. I don't know how it works. Breaking. The U.S. government shutdown is now expected to last over 30 days per Kalshi. This is just 5 days less than the longest shutdown in history. That is crazy. It's probably going to go longer, to be completely honest. Let's be real here. The plot thickens. A whale on Hyperliquid placed over $23 million of shorts at 4:49 p.m. Eastern Time yesterday per CoffeeZilla. Exactly 1 minute later, President Trump announced 100% tariffs on China, leading to the largest liquidation in crypto history. Is this the best crypto trade of the year? Probably. CryptoFace posted, this is now the second time Binance freezing everyone's account on every exchange they back caused year-high liquidations. September 29th, they caused 1.5 billion, the high for the year. Today, October 10th, they did it again, causing 7 billion. That's pretty crazy. Cheers, guys. Happy Saturday. Giovanni said, 30 days, rip my reverse pay. Yeah. Damn. All right. Next, we got huge. The crypto market lost 530 billion in an hour before rebounding to 3.7 trillion. That's insane. South Korea to seize crypto from cold wallets in new tax crackdown. It's getting spicy out there, guys. It's getting spicy. Throwback to this crazy post on, I don't know where it was posted, in 2010. This guy said, how many Bitcoins do you own? Let us know. Somebody replied and said, I have only 600 Bitcoins, virtually all generated last week. I missed the bus. Frowny face. I'll be buying some soon. Smiley face. I hope that guy's a billionaire today. He deserves it. Imagine 15 years of mining Bitcoin. Whew, that's got to be so sick. Massive. Bitcoin created 36 billionaires, 450 centimillionaires, and 240K millionaires. That's awesome. Stock Money Lizards, 16 hours ago. Emergency update. Bitcoin and altcoins. Crypto just saw the largest single day liquidation event in history. Some coins tanked 70% and more within 5 minutes. What happened and what comes next? Let's unpack it. If you guys want to check this out, it's a great read. I went through the whole thing earlier. It's a good read for sure. Highly recommend. You have a better time and fewer heart attacks once you stop chasing and start trading smart. Stop trying to make it back with leverage. Just buy spot. Focus on 2 to 4 coins, mainly Bitcoin. Place limit orders. Take profits. You don't need to sell everything. Trim 10% during hype. Forget the memes, the 5 million projects, and the noise. Do this long enough and you'll realize you are going to make it. My conservative trading portfolio that just focused on one major altcoin where I applied a mix of DCA and grid trading, also semi-automated, worked best. Outperformed Bitcoin and most other coins. It was also the most boring one, but who cares in the end? That is how it goes. We got, this is like a PSA for everybody here. I'm truly sorry for bro, but This was a stark reminder that you should never use leverage, just DCA and hold. We're still very early and Bitcoin will be worth millions. Patience is key. This guy posted probably yesterday. All my savings, 6 years of DCA, got liquidated last night. I was one of the people who never tried to time the market. I was just telling others to stay away from leverage, just DCA, yet here I am. Maybe this sad story will contribute to the community. I guess people have different reasons for why they end up using leverage. I don't need to be convinced that Bitcoin is here to stay and it will go up. That's why I was all in DCA. Anything left out of my monthly salary would go into Bitcoin. However, the last 1 to 2 years, my monthly expenses rose significantly, and I was upset about not being able to buy as much Bitcoin as I could in the past. This is what led me to the idea that I could make up for that period in 1 to 2 leverage trades. It all went downhill from there. Last night, I lost everything. As of today, my total net worth is not far away from the salary I will receive for this month. Everything I got was wiped out, and I'm 36 years old already. It's not that hard, unfortunately, to make it back. It's really easy to look at this and be like, my life is over, 6 years is gone, blah, blah, blah. But he lived 30 years prior to that without having any of this done. You did 6 years before, you can do 6 years again. You learned a lesson, look at it from there, move forward. Maybe you can make improvements upon that and make up the money faster. Just learn the lesson, though. Stay away from leverage. And if you do play with it, treat it like a gamble. Do not ever, ever put all your eggs in one basket. You have to diversify. You have to dollar cost average. You have to have spot bags, not financial advice. And just be careful. Be careful. That's the bottom line. Be careful. This one's pretty good. People who bought Bitcoin in 2023, minus 10.89%, plus 900%. That's real, man. I feel it. Crypto is a rigged casino, and today's events prove it beyond a doubt. A single colossal Bitcoin whale shorted at the peak, then just minutes before the market's shattering crash, piling on millions more in shorts. At the very bottom of the drop, he closed 90% of his Bitcoin shorts and completely exited his Ethereum short, pocketing roughly $190 to $200 million in a single day. That's the only instance we can trace, but speculation is rampant that the scale was far larger and extended across other exchanges. Don't be naive, this wasn't luck. Someone was either manipulating the market or front-running it. Either way, the collapse was engineered, and investors have every reason to be alarmed. I'm 50-50. I don't know if we have every reason to be alarmed. If anything, this was a stress test and lessons have been learned. And then we got a really, really long one from Ash Crypto again. Yesterday's crypto crash explained with damage, how it happened, and why. I'm going to read this whole thing. Carter Jean said, what the F, why? I don't know. He explained it in there, but it just, in hindsight, it'll never make sense. Yesterday, crypto crash explained with damage, how it happened, and why. We saw the biggest crash in history of crypto with $19.2 billion liquidated and approximately $800 billion in value wiped out across the board. Altcoins were hit the hardest, with many dropping 50% or more in just hours. Price for some tokens like IOTX on Binance even briefly hit zero due to the chaos. But what exactly started this crash? To break it down simply, I think of it like a chain reaction in a highly leveraged game of musical chairs. When the music stops, a lot of players get forced out, making things worse for everyone. Step 1, the setup, and why was the market vulnerable? Crypto trading, especially on centralized exchanges, often involves leverage, borrowing money to amplify bets on price moves. Traders use margin accounts where they put up collateral, like other cryptos, to borrow more. Cross margin means one pool of collateral backs multiple trades across different assets. By early October 2025, the market was overheated. High leverage everywhere. Traders were maxed out on longs. Bets prices would rise, especially in altcoins and memes. Open interest total bets was sky high, making the market fragile. Diluted markets, there are now over 50 million tokens expected to hit 100 million soon, spreading liquidity thin. Many are low quality memes listed for quick exchange profits, leading to pump and dump cycles. External triggers. Trump tariff triggered this initial crash. Bitcoin and Ethereum dipped first, dragging everything else down due to high correlations. Altcoins were particularly at risk because they have thinner order books, fewer buyers/sellers, so small sells can cause big drops. Step 2, the trigger, cascading liquidations. Once price started falling, Bitcoin breaking key levels, the real damage began. Auto liquidations kick in. Exchanges automatically sell collateral to cover loans when positions go underwater. For cross-margin users, this means dumping whatever assets they hold, and that's often altcoins to pay back borrows. Domino effect. One liquidation causes more price drops, triggering more liquidations. Over 550 million in futures positions were wiped out in a few minutes. This created a liquidation cascade, or flush, where panic spreads fast and caused $20 billion in liquidations. And this is exactly why I always tell you guys to please be careful from leverage. Ending on a positive note, never give up. If you got hit, don't worry, you will bounce back harder. If history repeats, events like these actually start the biggest bull run. 2020 COVID crash started 2021 alt season. FTX and Luna crash markets marks the bottom of the $15,400 for Bitcoin, and it's now up 8x from there. I think we will see a parabolic Q4, and the market makers just set the stage for it with all the longs wiped out. I agree. This is 100% my thesis. Maybe it was orchestrated, who knows, whatever. This is just what makes sense. The order books were thin, there's no retail. Institutional buying and selling led to this crazy crash. I think that the exchanges need to learn from this, and maybe they need to figure out a better market making situation. I don't know. But this is that's it. That's the end of the news segment. Congratulations, Drummer, once again on your victory. Enjoy your bottleneck squash. Bitcoin currently trading at 109,765 and 47 cents. Are we going to fill the wick for Bitcoin? I could see Bitcoin filling the wick 100%. Is that going to lead altcoins to fill their wicks? I have no idea. I think it's going to get spicy and dicey for sure. My question is Bitcoin oversold on the daily? It is not. Daily Bitcoin is not even oversold. Crazy. We wiped out, I mean, it's what, the 11th? 25 days? 15? We wiped out 15, 16 days worth of gains on Bitcoin. That's crazy that it only took that long for it to hit those all-time highs. All right, portfolio updates. Unfortunately, the damage is pretty bad in our portfolio updates. 1K to 10K Grok portfolio is down $272. It does look like it's starting to bounce, though. We've got one asset in profit. The rest are negative. Starting from the bottom, Fetch is down $52. Aptos is down 41. Shib, or is that 31? Is it 31? No, 41. Shib is down 36. Render's down 36. Ondo's down 28. Near's down 25. Doge is down 24. Proppy's down 20. ADA's down 19. Sol is up 5. Next, we got our Memecoin portfolio is down $364. We've got 0 assets in profit. Starting from the bottom, GigaChat is down. Oh man, I have not looked at the price of SNEK. I'm scared. GigaChat is down a whopping $141. SNEK is down $65. Pepe is down $60, $50, $60. WIF is down 67, 57. WIF is down $57. Doge is down 43. Honestly, Memecoin portfolio, not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm not mathing today. I'm not mathing good today at all, so give me a break. Narrative portfolio was once the most stable. It's probably still the most stable. Currently only down $93. It's still a significant percent, though. It's like 20%. $93 at the moment. We have one asset in green. The rest are in red. Starting from the bottom, VeChain is down $38. Fetch is down $38. Mana is down $15. Pepe is down $5. And Tau is up $1.52. Tau holding up pretty well, carrying the entire bag. And then the perfect entry portfolio. I would love to add to the perfect entry portfolio today. I'm kind of bummed that we didn't wait, but it is what it is. Maybe we start a perfect entry 2.0. We could do it like a giga dump portfolio where we just build an entire portfolio right where we're at. That might not be a bad idea. We got 10 assets in here. Every single asset was voted on by you guys, the community, and you guys killed it. Honestly, not that bad off. We are down $172. 17.2%. We have one asset in the green, the rest are in the red. Starting from the bottom, Render is down $43, Avalanche is down $39, the Graph is down $31, Pith is down 30, Ondo is down 20, Sui is down 19, ETH is down 4, Sol is down 3, Crow is down 1, Chainlink is up $13.57. It's all about timing. This portfolio, the whole purpose of it was to add when the market was really, really deep red and everyone was doom and gloom. The market was over. So, unfortunately, right now is the best time, and we've maxed out the portfolio. So, it is what it is. Bitcoin, 109, 846, and 92 cents. That concludes it. Unless you guys got any requests. Let's see, how's the market doing? Squeeze down 1.45%. Silver's still up. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm wondering if they're trying to entice shorts, and then they're gonna liquidate them, and then they're gonna fill the wick, and then they're gonna do it again. Entice shorts right here. Everyone's gonna pile in on shorts, and then the market's gonna blast up to new all-time highs. Completely guessing, just based on what I've seen before, especially with big wick liquidation events like this. We usually almost always see that wick refilled, which sucks. But it is what it is. It's a time capitulation situation. And all we got to do is wait. Market's a lot about patience, unfortunately. I'm not a patient guy. But I've been here for like 3-4 years, so it is what it is. We do got a green dot on our momentum wave. Let's see if that turns into anything. So far, it is being invalidated, it seems. So, anyways, guys, I'm probably going to call it here. As always, Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Smash the like button on your way out. Happy Saturday, and good night.